Hey, and welcome to Political Musings. This week, the theme of today's show is the stupidest timeline. And I want to give a special shout out to Jeff Tidrich. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I apologize if I'm not. If you are not following him on social media and subscribe to his Substack, can I just say this will help your sanity? So I'm pulling a lot of this from his Substack post this week in Stupid, and so I want to give credit where credit is due. First off, the first thing I have to share with you is there's a thing that you can watch called Surrounded. And in it, on this web series, they have one guy in the middle who's a professional surrounded by amateurs on an opposing side. In this case, the clip I'm about to show you is Sam Cedar being challenged in the stupidest way. And I'm going to play it first and let you just see. This guy, I am sure, went home thinking, boy, he won that debate. But when you see it, when you hear it, you'll realize just how stupid he was. And honestly, there was so much, because it's a good hour or so of video. You can go to this Surrounded page and see the whole thing and see all of the stupid. But this was one of the stupidest moments. What they're talking about is DEI, which I shouldn't have to explain this. I shouldn't have to explain it to you. Diversity, equity, and inclusion. What diversity, equity, inclusion is, as a policy, is that when you are, for example, in the hiring process, you need to be open to people who don't necessarily look and think like you. People who are not, for example, you're hiring, let's say, a computer analyst. Now, you could just go to certain, mostly white Ivy League schools to get your employees. Or you could use the DEI method where you say, hey, you know what? Let's check those HBCUs. There might be somebody more qualified that's not where you normally would look. So it's this, okay, put your ad more broadly and open up your hiring process. You're still going to do a merit-based hire, but you're not going to hire someone just because they're white and male. But what the Trump administration and the MAGA idiots that follow him think is that people are getting hired or getting the position just because of the color of their skin or their gender or whatever, rather than, quite frankly, the women and the blacks and the LGBT and so forth, they, generally speaking, have to be 10 times better just to be thought half as good. For example, people, and this happened in this surrounded episode, uh, people thinking that the former vice president, Kamala Harris, was somehow a DEI hire because she was black and woman. Because he said, you know what, I want to pick, because former President Biden said, I want to pick the most qualified person, but I want that person to also be a black woman. Biden is probably one of the few people who she wasn't more qualified for. She certainly was more qualified for office, had more experience in all three branches of government. She worked in the Justice Department. She was an attorney general. She was a vice president. So she was in the congressional, legislative body. She worked for the justice. She was AG. She was a DA. She was a prosecutor. She was vice president. She had a resume certainly a hell of a lot better than Trump or J.D. Vance. And, oh, by the way, no one has accused her of rape. Multiple people have accused Trump. She has not been found guilty of fraud multiple times, like our current president. So, was she black and a woman? Yes, absolutely. And Asian. And her husband's Jewish. But she was also extremely qualified. So, what they're saying is that if you hire somebody, and I'm getting some feedback here, if you hire somebody who is then somehow that person, if that person happens to be black or happens to be a woman, that person must be a DEI hire and not hired based on merit, when the opposite is true. And in fact, like I said, if you consider, for example, Lloyd Austin, who was the the general, 5-star general, who happened to be black, who Biden put over the DOD, Secretary of Defense, versus the Fox News weekend host, alcoholic, who Trump picked. Yeah, he's white. He's also a Christian nationalist, has tattoos showing his support for white supremacy, essentially. That's who he is. Wholly unqualified for the job he was put in. His mediocre white man. you know, but somehow Lloyd Austin's the DEI hire. The 5-star general with a career, or the admiral who, who was, I just can't. It's crazy what has happened. But listen to this guy on Surrounded, this young man challenge Sam Cedar. It is hilarious. So here we go. Let's just listen to this stupid.
I'm talking about Trump's rescission of these orders
on these agencies. If you received a tax cut as an employer, wouldn't you hire a person of color?
Dude,
if you could pay them less?
Listen, we're talking about government agencies that do not get tax cuts. They don't. Government agencies.
They don't.
No,
yes, they do. They absolutely do.
I'm talking about
every private and public sector gets tax cuts when you hire a person of color.
Government agencies don't pay taxes. Government agencies operate on, are funded by the government.
That is not true. That is not true. And you know what? I think.
Okay. Oh, it's the stupid hurts. The stupid hurts. Holy moly, that's just too embarrassing. It's too embarrassing. I don't know what to say about it, but good God. Yeah. So what's going on there is this guy is saying that government agencies, and I apologize if you're getting, I should have changed out all these cords. I have some issues with some connections that are a little janky, and I got replacement and I just didn't put them in place. I started to, and then I had a terrible case this morning of the fuck it alls. I think it was Robin Williams. It might have been George Carlin, but I think it was Robin Williams who talked about we need a drug called fuck it all for when you just feel like fuck it all. And I have had a bad case of the fuck it alls lately. It's just so, because the stupid is coming at such a high velocity that I don't know. I don't know where to begin. This guy thinks you get a tax credit or a tax cut, and that you can pay somebody less because they're black or Hispanic or a woman. No. This is not the case. And I cannot say this strongly enough. My God. Government agencies don't pay taxes. But you know this guy thought he won that. You know this idiot. This MAGA idiot. And honestly, you know, I used to challenge them. The people that I know that are smart, including, you know, members of my family with PhDs who believe nonsense. And I used to say, you're too smart for this. Stop. You're just trying to gaslight me. But I'm beginning to think that they really are this stupid. Because they just keep saying the stupidest things and promoting the most bullshit propaganda. And I swear, do not say DEI or woke or CRT if you don't know what the fuck it is. Because that's the thing that's driving me up a goddamn wall. All right. So let's go on to another moment in stupid. And I I'm just going to uh, this one has to do with the speech to the joint session of Congress. Now, if you will remember, when Trump gave that stupidest of really, really, really records breaking, long, boring speeches in a joint session, it was not the State of the Union because he hasn't been in office for a year. So this was just speaking to a joint session. And, going back in time in the stupid, this interrupting sort of thing that happens started in 2009 when Representative Joe Wilson shouted, "You lie," to then President Obama, because Obama said something that wasn't truth a fact, but this guy shouts, "You lie," and then we had to deal with Marjorie Taylor Greene doing the same thing to Biden and all kinds of stuff. Obama in the moment, I can't remember the details of it. I think it's something having to do with the ACA, the Affordable Care Act, better known as Obamacare. It was giving health care to illegal immigrants. Never mind that whether or not, or to undocumented, whether or not you are in the country legally or not, if you show up at the emergency room and you need emergency care, it is in our best interest to ignore whether or not you are a citizen, whether or not you have legal status, to ignore any of those things and treat the sick person. Because let's say, for example, you've got measles. We want to treat you. We don't want to send you back into the community or into custody where you're going to expose other people who might be in custody to measles. It is important that we do that. But setting that aside, what Obama was saying was in fact truthful. And Joe Wilson shouted, "You lie." Well, this time we had Representative Al Green. He got up and he shook his cane at the current president and said, "You don't have a mandate to cut Medicaid and Medicare and Social Security. You don't have a mandate for that." Which is true. That this is there. If you look at the graph of people's support and not wanting to be strongly supporting the Medicaid program, the Medicare program, Social Security program, it is extremely high. And people not wanting it overwhelmingly don't want those things cut. So there is no mandate for that. Not to mention, he doesn't have a mandate for anything. He barely won the popular vote. He didn't win the majority of the popular vote. He won the majority of, the electoral college. He would barely win a majority in the popular vote. No, he barely won a plurality in the popular vote. A plurality. It was still less than 50%. The difference between a majority and a plurality. Majority means you've won more than 50%. A plurality means you had the highest percentage, but not necessarily above 50%. So he won a plurality, but not a majority. But here is Hansy Boebert. Ugh. So you remember, because we do live in the stupidest timeline. Lauren Boebert was caught on camera at a production of the onstage musical Beetlejuice, giving her date a hand job, groping him. He's groping her. She's vaping, even though that's illegal in that space. That is not allowed. And was evicted. So the stupidest of all members of Congress, had this to say, this totally racist, inappropriate thing to say about Representative Al Green.
To attack me for referencing his cane as a pimp cane. And Grant, I stand by it. I have never seen Al Green actually use his cane as a support to walk. I have seen him shake it for years, all throughout the Capitol during any meeting that I've ever been present with him in. And if that gold-plated cane isn't a pimp cane, I don't know what is. But maybe Hula Hoo is really the racist here. Are only blacks pimps? Is that what I'm hearing? Are there no cisgendered white pimps?
Okay. I don't even know where to begin with this. Good Lord. Okay, so this was after she said it and after she got knocked that for it. And then she calls Representative Houlihan Representative Hula Hoo because she's a child. Oh my God. I can't with these people. It's making me crazy. It's making me crazy. Also, Representative Al Green is not the same Al Green that was the singer. Okay, yes, he sang about pimping. Oh, the stupid hurts. The stupid just absolutely hurts. Well, then, another thing that happened was where's my bee face? All right, here we go. Let's show this guy. Let me show you this guy. Now, what you see here is the person who is a so-called journalist who Tetris refers to as B-face. And the reason he calls him B-face is look at his face. He's got a bee face. He looks like he's been stung by a bunch of bees and gone into anaphylactic shock. That's his normal face. But here is what, while in the all right, so there was this meeting in the Oval Office with the Prime Minister of Ireland. This is a thing that we do. Our president speaks, and now we have all these meetings in front of a camera in the Oval Office. Why? I don't know, but they get stupider every time. And that the AP has been removed from these, and Reuters and any legitimate people have been removed, but yet we have B-Face, who you might remember from, I think it was last week, maybe just 2 weeks ago, maybe. Time has just compressed. It's like, it feels like 100 years, and yet it also feels like a minute has passed at the same time because the stupid comes daily. So the guy that asked Zelensky, when given the opportunity, why he wasn't wearing a suit, to which Zelensky responded, I'll wear your costume when the war is over. So that guy proceeds to ask this of the prime minister or the representative. I don't quite remember what his. I'll look it up. I'll tell you in a minute. But a representative from Ireland, a state official from Ireland in the Oval Office. And this is what B-Face says and asks him. Rosie O'Donnell. Why are there still? Rosie O'Donnell isn't even on The View anymore. It's just, she did I don't know, I guess about 10 years ago she had a special. Who freaking is following Rosie O'Donnell? Oh my God. You have a chance to ask. I mean, how many people got this opportunity? This is that was Prime Minister. As Prime Minister Michael Martin of Ireland. It's Ireland's Prime Minister. And you are in the Oval Office where very few have been allowed in. And you let this clown, you gonna ask why Ireland let Rosie O'Donnell move there? He didn't even know who the fuck Rosie O'Donnell is. And why should he care? And Trump, did you see the look on his face? And he says, I like that question. The rest of the world thought, oh my God, the stupid hurts. The stupid hurts. It is so ridiculous. It is so utterly, insanely stupid. Why are you wearing a suit? And why do you allow Rosie O'Donnell to move to your country. Are you fucking kidding me? That's what you ask? And this guy, B-Face, is Marjorie Taylor Greene's boyfriend, the second stupidest, just running a tight, close second to Lauren Boebert as the stupidest member of Congress. And, as if it wasn't bad enough that we are inflicted with her presence in Congress, which this stupidest of congressional majorities has decided to make her a committee chair. Oh my God. She's not qualified. She's not qualified to run a daycare. She's not qualified to walk a dog. She is the stupidest of stupid people. Well, no. Lauren Boebert's worse. But, maybe she's tied or it's a very close race. But of course, she has the stupidest of stupid boyfriends. I've told people this before, but one of the requirements that I had when I was back in the old days when I was dating, which is a very long time ago, very, very long time ago. I've been married for almost 27 years. And yeah. And I've been together with my husband for 3 years before that. And I was married for 5 years before that. So we're talking for most of my dating life. I've had 3 guys who had a major impact. My high school sweetheart, Albert Nurek, my ex-husband, James Mark Long, Mark, and my current husband, Terry David Manuel. David is an engineer and he's a mechanical engineer, and he's extremely well-informed, well-educated, and smart and intelligent. My ex-husband, I have differences with, but one thing I can say for sure is that he was really smart. He's really smart. I would say both David and Mark smarter than me, and extremely well educated and well informed. And my high school sweetheart got like a 15-10 on the SATs, got a perfect score in math, had a scholarship to MIT. He went to the University of Texas, but again, extremely smart, extremely well informed. Now, back in the day with all 3 of these guys, when I started dating them, we did not agree on politics. They've all seen the light, and they're all now on my side. But my issue with them was not that we didn't agree on politics. I'm fine with you disagreeing with me as long as you can hold your own and you're smart enough but the thing I couldn't tolerate was stupid. I went out with a couple of guys who were stupid. They were good guys. They were just too stupid, and it didn't last long because I just couldn't tolerate the stupid. So these guys, of course, Marjorie Taylor Greene, who is stupid, would date somebody equally stupid, who would ask the utmost stupidest question I have ever heard in any news, in any news interview. And that you're asking that in the Oval Office. You're asking about Rosie O'Donnell? She's not even in the news. How stupid is this? Who cares what Rosie O'Donnell is doing? She's not even on The View anymore. Oh my God. And why would the Prime Minister of Ireland care about that? You have the, you have like a minute best to ask a question. There's only a handful of people that are getting that opportunity, and you're going to waste it on this stupidity? Oh my God. Oh my freaking God. All right. Let me just show you this, because this happened on Thursday. Where is it? Sorry. No, that's not it. All right, I'm just gonna. All right, here we go. Let's show you this. Elon Musk. We've been talking about the stupid DEI purchase. Elon Musk retweeted or reposted, whatever you want to call it. I don't know. It's on X, on Shitter. This post. Quote, Stalin, Mao, and Hitler didn't murder millions of people. Their public sector workers did. Stop it. Just stop it. Are you kidding me? That is just among the most anti-Semitic things you can possibly say. The reason Stalin, Mao, and Hitler, even though they weren't the ones doing the murdering, they didn't get their own hands dirty. They ordered the murders. It's why, when you take down a mob boss, which essentially is how Trump and Musk are running the country, like they're mob bosses, they order Musk doesn't have the skills to go in and do. Let's be honest about this. Musk has a whole bunch of money. And the reason a lot is because he started with a whole bunch of money, just like Trump. They're absolutely racist as fuck. Bigoted fathers gave them a bunch of money. A bunch of money. Millions. And if you've ever seen the movie Brewster's Millions, there's been a bunch of different versions of it, but the most famous, at least for me, is the one with Richard Pryor, where this not Little League, farm team baseball player has the challenge. He has inherited millions from his uncle that died. But in a short period of time, he has to spend 10 million, and at the end of it, and at the end of the period of time, he can have nothing to show for it but the clothes he walked in. He can have no assets. And the thing that you learn as it goes on is that it's really hard to spend that much money. That even what seems like ridiculously bad investments end up making more money. So yeah, um, that's what happened. Musk and Trump have a bunch of money because the more money you have, the harder it is. And we pay Musk $8 million a day in government contracts. $8 million a day. I defy you to spend $8 million a day. Do it one day. Even try it one day. You can't do it. So he's bought a bunch of shit, and he's got these idiots going through and deleting things because of quote DEI. And it's the stupidest of stupid. But here this guy is saying, well, it wasn't Stalin, Mao, and Hitler that did the killing. No, the people they ordered to do it did the actual killing. Just like mob bosses. They don't get their hands dirty. And they speak in code. They speak in code to tell people that do the actual killing who to kill. And so they ordered, all three of those people ordered millions murdered. Stalin, more than any of these. Yeah. So that's why. That's why they're a problem. And just like with them, Elon Musk isn't doing the actual work of going in and on the stupidest of stupidest ways eviscerating and dismantling whole departments. That and we do have some good news as far as some judges' rulings. One in California, and I think there were 3 different rulings related to this, to what Musk is doing, that went in the favor of the people who were wrongly fired. I mean, good God. I mean, this happened, I think, a couple of weeks ago. I don't know when things happen anymore because the stupid comes at such a rapid fire pace that I'm losing my fucking mind. And I need Robin Williams' great idea for a pill. I need fuck it all. I really need fuck it all because oh my God, it's crazy. So and I live in Jeff Tritcher's Substack. He's got the GIF from, or GIF, however you want to pronounce it, of the ladies talking about Facebook and her going, that's not how any of this, that's not how it works. That's not how any of this works. That is what's going on. That's not how any of this works. That's not how it works. Oh my God. Then we had, I just can't. On Friday, we had Arlington National Cemetery, and you, if you go online, Arlington Cemetery strips content on Black and female veterans from website. These are people who Trump called suckers and losers because they gave their life for their country. But because, oh, they happen to be black or they happen to be a woman, now some of them are still there, but a lot of them are gone. Now, there was blowback on removing the Tuskegee Airmen from the DoD website, and I was told they went back, but honestly, I'm having trouble finding it. And so I want to just show you. If you go, let me share this here. Now, this is the National Archive, what I'm showing you here. PFC Cristina Fuentes Montenegro, 25, one of the first. So, summary, PFC Cristina Montenegro, 25, one of the first of 3 female Marine graduates from the School of Infantry East Infantry Training Battalion course, a native of Coral Springs, Florida on the left, and PFC Julia Carroll, 18, one of the first 3 female Marine graduates from the School of Infantry. Now, it tells you more, and you can find that in the archives. But if you go to the DoD website and you search for Cristina Fuentes Montenegro, first of all, the first thing that comes up is not her, it's a man, as you can see there. There's a video, and it is nothing about, it says that it's about her. No, it's not about her. This one says U.S. Marine Corps First Sergeant Christian Fuentes. That's what comes up first. And there's a video and talking about his retirement. And that was from December of 2023. So guess who was still in office? Biden. But if you look down, look, there's no picture there. First female Marines graduate infantry training. This was from 2014. And I'm going to click on that, and guess what? Sorry, the page you're looking for cannot be found and might have been removed, had its name changed, or is temporarily unavailable. Please try locating it via our search center. Well, that's how I got there, was from the search center. These people, I swear to God. So yeah, it's Women's History Month. And, you know, war heroes, again, they removed the Enola Gay because of the word gay. The Enola Gay is the fucking plane that dropped nuclear bomb on Hiroshima. The Enola Gay. They removed it because of the word gay. Because all these stupid idiots did was a fucking word search. And the words that they searched for were words like gay. So they removed people whose name was gay. Or, equally stupid, Fitch hatchery. because it listed the gender of the fish. Oh my God. Because they saw the word gender. Ah, ah, the stupid hurts. The stupid just hurts. But I want to finish. I want to finish with a video that was it was uh, it was really good, really good, and it's uh, it's Representative Larson in testimony talking about Musk and is talking about Elon Musk refusing doing damage that he's doing and not showing up. And so I'm going to give him the last word here today.
This is indeed a sad morning. Very sad morning. When this committee, the oldest and most continuous in the Congress, neglects its responsibility and essentially holds this hearing today to block any further discussion. The men and women on this committee are good people.
I'm going to pause it for a second. This is Representative Larson of Connecticut, and he's talking about Elon Musk not showing up.
They're honest and caring people, and that's why I do not understand why you would relegate this committee to no longer being of significance and resort to saying you will do whatever Elon Musk and Donald Trump tell you to do. Where's the independence of the committee? Where's the legislature? We're an equal branch of government. And you start off with a blather, and yet look at the empty seats here. Where's Elon Musk? I'm sure he's a genius and is a very credible person because of the wealth he's accumulated. But that does not put him above the law or the responsibility to come before this committee in this Congress. If he's so great, if these plans and all the fraud and abuse that he's found are so eminent, why isn't he here explaining it? You know why. Because he's out to privatize Social Security. He's been on television the last couple of days talking exactly about Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid, and what he intends to do. Privatize it. The American people, some of them may have been born at night, but not last night. People are aware of this. Every single one of your districts, all the money that comes in monthly, and you have not done, you as a Congress have not done anything in more than 54 years. And now you have someone coming in to privatize a system, something you have longed to do going back to 1982, because Elon Musk thinks that this is the best thing to do.
All right, when he's talking about privatizing a system, he is talking about privatizing Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security, because that is what they want to do. And let me be clear, you do not get savings from privatization. You make the cost go up because private companies have to turn a profit. The government doesn't and shouldn't turn a profit. That's not the job of the government. So privatizing makes it less efficient and more expensive every single time. So, and as I have stated earlier, it is very unpopular. Very unpopular. I don't care where you are in this country, it is unpopular.
President Trump has called Social Security a scam. Elon Musk, as chairman, as Mr. Neal said, called it a Ponzi scheme. Ask that of the people in your district. Ask that, Mr. Smith, of the more than 198,000 people in your district who rely on Social Security, and you won't even let the person who's planning to privatize it, who's telling the big lie in front of everyone, in bold as he possibly can, saying, this is what we're going to do. The Congress is in our back pocket. We don't even have to come before them and testify because we control the House, we control the Senate, and we control the presidency. And it's the tyranny of the executive. It's why these resolutions were first adopted back in 1789, because the founding fathers knew that the executive branch does not have total authority over the legislature unless you have a willing party that says, no, we're going to do exactly what you tell us to do, Mr. Musk and Mr. President. It doesn't matter to our constituents. It doesn't matter how much money they are not going to receive. We're not even going to tell them the truth about what's going to happen to them. And every single one of these districts where they're being shut down and their personnel, and as Mr. Neal said, then after you cut and eliminate the people, say the agency isn't responding accordingly. No other agency operates for under less than 1%. With that, they administer to over 70 million people in the nation's #1 anti-poverty program for the elderly and children. Shame! Shame! Can't bring people in front of this body? If he's right, if they're so good, if they're so just, why aren't they here telling the American people about it?
Representative Larson gets the last word for today's show. Shame on these people. We live in the stupidest timeline, folks. I want to thank you. I've gone a little bit over, but I want to thank you for tuning in. As I remind you every week, get registered, get informed, get politically active, and go vote. And if you don't have anything nice to say, come sit next to me.